All good.
Oh, the beer's been in this, huh? That's nice.
Chuck it somewhere. Chuck it over the fence.
Chuck it over the fence now, don't lose it.
All right, mate. Let's get that whiskey. Today we've got a special treat. Thanks, mate. It's invisible whiskey. Oof, I'm so drunk. We have Lafroig 10.
10 of them.
There's more than 10 drops, but I guess you could measure out 10 drops. 70 milliliter drops, so that's two and a third shot.
I'll take your word.
So there's 10 2 1/3 shots in this.
Too much math for me.
Nice. So this is a fresh bottle, brand new off the shelf. Not out of the bum, but off the other shelf. Have you heard that phrase? Putting it on the shelf?
For
taking
feces?
For taking drugs?
Oh, putting it on the shelf. No?
I'm pretty sure that means inserting anally.
Oh.
Just slip it on the shelf.
I guess so.
I'm pretty sure it does. Maybe double check that. Just Google image search putting it on the shelf.
Switch it to private.
Yeah. Safe search.
Oh, it's already on private.
Yeah. It's just your screensaver. Just have a look at your wallpaper.
Putting it in the shelf. On the shelf.
Yeah, in or on. Probably on. So this is Lafroig 10. This is a really good whiskey. World-renowned, famous. It was on special, so I got it today. Had no whiskey in the cupboard. When you don't have any Scottish rain, you need more. Big inhale from Rob, so he's found something.
No, I don't know. So to delay something, I'll put it on hiatus. For example, once my wife became pregnant, I knew I had to put my plans of starting my own business on the shelf for a while.
Yeah, you'd love to put your business on your shelf. His business is dildo making.
I'll do anything for the money.
All right, let's go. So this is a really peaty whiskey, which means
Lafroig.
smoky. Tell me where to stop.
Stop. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Definitely one of our favourite whiskies, Lafroig.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like it's world renowned for a reason.
It's world renowned for being a favourite whiskey.
Cheers, mate. Smell test or what?
Yeah. Straight away bacon.
Well, straight away smoke. Now I've lingered a bit too long. I'm getting a lot of alcohol notes, which just smells like you're smelling methylated spirits a little bit. Back to the smoke. If you slosh it around too much, the alcohol vapors bleed off pretty quickly.
It always reminds me a bit of bacon flavoured shapes.
Oh, in the pink box.
Yeah, in the pink box.
Nice, pink box bacon. All right, well, salute, mate. Salute.
Salut.
Cheers.
Skål.
Kippis. Skull. School. Skull. School. He just dropped some on him. How embarrassing. Ooh. Surprisingly light on the throat, heavy on the tongue. I'm getting some of that, like that bacony sort of smoked meat on the tongue. It's very nice. I'd say it's surprisingly easy to drink compared to how robust the scent is. Really easy on the throat. Because some whiskies will burn your throat on the way down, but this one isn't.
It's as if fire was water.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm definitely feeling like previous 3 of these we had.
I haven't even had one yet. He can't come over with a slab. He's like,
I'm like goat.
yeah. Saw a lot of crows in Europe.
Yes, so you recently returned from the Europeland.
Yes, I went back to the EU where my genes are from. I really
you done
love
the DNA
European
test?
pants. No,
You need to do it.
I've done a DNA test,
Oh,
but not the 23andMe.
yeah, not for fun purposes.
No. When I was an infant, I had a DNA test done on me to make sure I was the heir of my father.
The air. Wow. What did you inherit? And did you prove to be the heir?
Well, 99%. 1%, up for debate. But I think I'm the air. Mum used to say I'm the air she breathes, so pretty good. Look at this big fat stogie in this bloke's mouth.
Yep.
It's hard to be humble with a cigar.
That's a good ad. Good ad for what is this, Davidoff.
Davidoff.
It's hard to be humble with a cigar.
You don't need to be humble with Davidoff. Humility. Leave your humility at the door with Davidoff. Davidoff. Humility. No need. Great whiskey. I see why it's so popular. It's robust in flavour, but light in harshness. Nice weather out here. The sun is shining. Probably about 20 degrees Celsius, which in American freedom units, fuck knows. Probably like 70 or 80 at a guess. Because when I hear Americans talk, they're like, oh gee, it's so nice today. It's like 80 out or 70 out there. So it's a nice day here. Nice day there. I know in Fahrenheit, around 105 is 40 degrees Celsius. I found that out when I watched the TV show Survivor, and they were like, oh, it's so hot out here in the desert, it's 105. And they were doing a challenge in the sun, and I was like 40. I'm like, oh yeah, that is hot. Hottest day I've ever been in, I think it was like 48. And it was 40 degrees at 8 o'clock, 30 degrees at midnight at night. That's how hot it was. It stayed hot all day. All I had was a little desk fan to cool off with. It was rubbish. Yeah, I'd feared heat. And then the friends had air conditioners. I made sure I tried to have sleepovers at their house on hot nights from then on. Otherwise, it was just like hell sleeping at home. That's the end of that story.
We had an air conditioner, but it was never preferred to be in use.
Yeah.
So, like, if it was a hot night, I had a little desk fan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, little desk fan
Blowing on you.
blowing on me.
His name was Desk Fan.
But I also had a sliding door to the outside.
Yeah.
So I just leave that wide open.
Yeah.
With the fly screen shut, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of bugs.
So many bugs.
What was the most bugs?
Especially at night. At night, in hot, humid conditions, bugs galore.
God.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bad shop. Come on down to Bugs Galore.
You could have ants, you could have moths.
In your pants?
Thrifts. Sure, yeah, you stay in one place long enough.
I got ants in my pants real bad twice.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I found a dead cow and I picked up like this like big rib bone as like a weapon. And I remember I tried to hit someone with it and I got in lots of trouble. But all these ants were all over me, up my pants. And that's just one of the stories.
I got bed bugs once.
Oh, there must be that bed bugs. Bed bugs, they seem like creepier than normal bugs.
It was because I had a air vent that was installed just in the plaster to, obviously get more air into the room. But a minor bird, had gotten in to that area and made a nest near that air vent. So their little nits or whatever the fuck,
like
birds,
lice,
yeah, that they were carrying.
Ooh.
I was sleeping. The vent was up there, and of course they were just dropping. And I didn't know that they were dropping because they were so small.
Mate, that's terrible.
But yeah, I'd like look closely at my skin, and then I'd be like, "What the?" And there'd be tiny little things I could see crawling on my skin. So it'd be a bit itchy, and I'd like scratch, and I'd look, and I'm like, "Oh, fucking."
You could actually see like the lice.
Yep.
Fuck, man, that's rough.
So I had to wash all the sheets and stuff, and
Did you get them in your hair?
yeah,
Did you have to like get them out of your hair?
yeah, but they just went. Yeah, it wasn't like had lice. It was just whatever lice birds have.
Oh, mate, that's rough.
Yeah, so that wasn't fun.
Fuck. So I remember I had a dream where I was like running on a rainbow, like pissing out off this rainbow. Wake up, just pissing my pants in bed. Oh, it was not good.
I know, that dream sounds worth it. That sounds like a great dream. Oh no, you just ashed yourself.
It's alright.
Ash catched him.
Yeah, I reckon.
This is a great dream. running on rainbows and just urinating upon the world.
Yeah, it was pretty cool until I woke up and I realized like that freeing feeling carried over to real life, and it was inconvenient. Another morning I woke up and like I opened my eyes and I saw all these like flying ants, and I went back to sleep and I thought I was dreaming, and then I woke up again and there's fucking like 1,000 like flying ants on my bed, like an ant infestation in my bed. I had a wooden bed, so maybe they were eating it. I'm not sure.
Is this factual?
Yeah, 100%.
Whoa.
And I like got it like ripped off my sheets and doonas, flipped my mattress. Never had that problem again.
Flying ants.
Yeah, the ant like they were pretty big, so ants with wings.
Getting a good night's sleep in my childhood bedroom was often an ordeal. We had a pool, and my room was closest to the pool, and we had resident frogs. So they would begin their croaking about the same time as I was attempting to begin my sleeping.
As you begin your pulling.
No, I did that in the pool so they could feel it.
Ah,
Yeah,
nice. Tadpole versus tadpole.
bring it on.
Oof.
That's probably why they were so angry at night.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Oh, he's coming on our babies.
that's it. Made a frog hybrid.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Nice.
it's called Frobbit.
Robert. Nice. But he croaked it, didn't he? He didn't make it.
Yeah, unfortunately, the genetics just didn't hold up.
Yeah, the French got to him, took his legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was some kind of bird of prey that took up residence in a high tree in the area.
Like a religious woman.
I don't know.
Bird of prey.
Late at night, you'd just hear this.
Right.
Until one night, you heard the sound, and then you heard. It sounded to me like a gunshot afterwards,
Wow, like a bang.
and we never heard it again.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So I think someone dealt with that bird.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Was the name Jeffrey Dahmer? Dahmer?
Oh, have you been watching that?
Mm.
I haven't been watching it, but
I hear it's pretty dark.
everyone's been talking about it.
Like old mate cuts off dicks and fries like the sausage, right? Is that right?
I don't know. I know he
I
keeps
just thought you'd know. He keeps what, sorry?
bodies in like a container or something, and it smells like pork chops.
Really?
Off pork chops.
Ooh,
Because
that's-
apparently his family gave him pork chops, and he says, "Oh no, my family gave me pork chops, but they've gone off, so the place stinks."
Well, I've heard that human meat is close to pork. That's what I've heard on the internet. Yeah, I feel like I probably don't want to watch it, even though everyone talks about it. I feel like it would make me feel bad.
I don't really have an interest in
Thanks,
watching serial killer shows.
Mm.
Like Andrew Schultz had have you watched the Andrew Schultz special?
No.
Oh, I won't.
Is that where he wears a leopard t-shirt?
I think so, but he's got a bit on it, and it's a good bit. It's factual.
Give it to us, mate. He won't mind.
Well, it's just simply that he moved in with his fiancée, with
Thanks,
his now
Schultzy.
wife,
Yeah.
and he's realizing that she's a psychopath because he's looking at her Netflix history, and it's just serial killer, serial killer, serial killer. It's like this serial killer used an axe, this guy used a chainsaw, this guy used poison, this guy cut people in half. British Bake Off. This guy cut someone's head off. This guy, and he's just like, he's
Yeah.
like, who watches a serial killer marathon and finishes it off with a little bit of British Bake Off?
That's a good bit. Yeah.
But it's so true.
Yeah.
Because I know
Apparently
Claire does
chicks love it down there,
Yeah.
like the murder mysteries.
Yeah,
and
Claire
stuff.
loves those, and then she loves British Bake Off.
Oh, mate, what is it? What is it about like killers and stuff getting so much
I
attention
feel like-
from the ladies?
I feel like I don't like to watch them because I'm not impressed by it. I'm just like, yeah, I could do that.
Old mate needs to lift his game.
Yeah, I don't see what the intrigue is.
It's like anyone can buy an axe.
Yeah.
Anyone can buy a sword.
It's like it's pretty standard.
Yeah, it's just like vanilla.
Yeah, I'm not really interested in that,
No, we're not the vanilla killer.
thankfully.
So if if you were to turn into a psychopath murderer, how would you kill someone? Sorry. I tell you how I'd do it.
Okay.
I'd employ a hitman.
How much do you reckon Hitman costs?
60k. That was my last quote.
And that's a lot of money, especially if you're a serial killer or a serial employer of Hitman.
Yeah, I guess, the people that are paying me, that they're high rollers. They're definitely...
Oh, so you're doing the hitting?
Nah, I'm just on the, I'm kind of like job search consultancy.
You're like on Gumtree.
Yeah, I'm on Gumtree. They come to me like, oh, hey, Dan, I need this thing taken care of. And I'll be like, oh, no worries. I know just the contractor to find.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm like the man. I'm like man in the middle.
Nice. Yeah, just sort of serial killer murder arbitrage kind of thing.
Yeah, look, I just take care of problems.
Nice. Everyone's got to make an honest living.
Oh, fuck, I wouldn't lie about it. God. The worst thing is a lying killer.
Yeah, that's so bad.
Oof.
It's against all the moral principles.
Oh, yeah. That's right. One thing I'm definitely against, though, is snitching. Like the phrase snitches get stitches.
Yeah.
I feel like that takes up real estate in my brain.
Yeah, okay.
So if you snitch, I don't like you. Don't snitch.
No snitches.
No, not even if you want to snitch. Don't snitch. Everyone hates snitches. Even the person that you snitch on. No. Even if the person that you snitch on, their enemies don't even like you because they know you're a snitch.
What if you're at the airport, you've recently travelled?
Okay, so I'm at the airport.
Yep.
I'm looking around.
Yep.
A lot of aging people.
Yep. You see this man speaking to his friend. He's got this big backpack and he's like, oh my god, I can't believe I got past security. This plane is going to blow up real nice. So, and yeah, you see him walk on to the plane the same time as you. He's sitting a few rows down from you. What do you do?
I'd speak to one of the flight attendants and I'd
snitch.
Nah, I'd say I'm talking to the flight attendant and I'm like, that fella over there, John, I don't know him, but I heard him mentioning backpack blowing up. And then they would probably go search his bag.
So you can snitch.
Nah, I don't think that's snitching.
What would be snitching in that scenario then?
Snitching would be like if I was in on the bomb and I didn't want to die on the plane, I'd be like, oh yeah, that guy over there, he's got a bomb. And then I'd run. Like I'd be in on the crime.
Okay, so you have to be in on the crime
Or adjacent to it.
in order to be a snitch.
Yeah, I think it's got to be like in your world,
Gotcha.
not just reporting a crime. That's not snitching.
So if you were part of the original organisational crew and you broke free of that crew to go tell the police about the plan, that's a snitch.
Yeah, 100% snitch.
Okay.
That's snitch action right there.
Interesting distinction, I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like once you snitch, like say you become a snitch, so you stab your team in the back and you snitch to the other team. That means you lose favour with your team, and the other team doesn't even like you because they know you're a snitch. So if you go work for them, they'll be like, oh, this guy's a snitch. He can't work for us.
Yeah, you'd have to be at a point where you do not want to be involved in that group anymore if you're a snitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the other group.
Which means you shouldn't be a part of that group in the first place. What are you doing there?
Well, someone offered you a sweet deal to snitch.
True.
Someone said, I'll give you $1 million. I'll reduce your jail sentence if you just snitch on the boys.
Something about that phrase is a bit sus.
What, snitching on the boys?
Snitching on the boys. They
Ain't,
were having a great time last night and you just had to snitch on them. Ruined all their fantasies.
yeah. Say no to snitching on the boys. Never, not even once. No.
So how was your time in Amsterdam? Because you've recently travelled
Abroad?
throughout the European lands
I have.
and you went to a land of Amsterdam where certain delicious yum-yums are legal. Weed. How's that?
I had the best time ever.
First time having weed.
Yeah.
How was it?
Oh, mate. I was such a virgin. I went into the shop and I said, "Where do I inject the cannabis?"
Yeah.
That was awesome, man. So like out the front of the store, there was 2 sets of seats. There's like the entrance to the store in the middle,
Yep.
and there was a seat on the left and a seat on the right, and the right was already taken. So I'm like, "Oh, Em, grab this seat here." And so she went and took the table just so no one else did.
Yep.
I went inside and ordered the goods.
Got the goods.
And came outside, and the sun was shining where we were sitting. So it was like beautiful.
Beautiful.
like autumn sun. Just sitting there, having some drinks, having a puff, in the sun. Not too busy, but there was still some people walking around. So like you could hear the birds chirping, the occasional conversation in Dutch, which is like such a crazy language. Like,
It's a great
"Ooh,
language."
doe je fucking fucking." Like as people are walking past,
Yeah.
"Oh, doe je fucking fucking," and they're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
exactly. Oh yeah, ja can fucking."
It would fit right in.
Yeah, just talking shit. So that was awesome, man. And then we went to this like a little fast foody Italian restaurant. Got some pasta. Went and sat on like a jetty. There was some ducks and swans. It was awesome, mate.
So I'm gonna.
Amsterdam's a great city.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna slow down the story.
Righto.
So when you went into the shop, what
I
did you
closed
see?
it on purpose, mate.
Oh, really? Do you want to close the story?
No, I don't want to close it, but like I think I'm used to like closing quick.
Oh, okay.
Like, get the point out. And,
Why is he? I'm used to close it.
yeah, like get it out there, give them like the meat, and then just close it.
Nice. I like to go a bit more in depth,
Okay, yeah, no.
but only if the person wants to go in depth.
Oh yeah, whatever. Ask a question, I'll answer it.
So when you walked in the shop,
Yep.
what'd you see?
So I walked down 5 stairs.
Oh, it's down. See, that's already my assumptions have been strewn to the wind.
Well, allow me to paint the story.
All right.
So I walked down 5 stairs, and then on the left-hand side you had chairs and tables, like indoor seating.
Yeah.
And then on the right-hand side you had the counter with a
okay.
glass cabinet with all of the different
Wares.
jars of weed.
Okay.
And then on the cabinet was like a plaque with all of the strains and all the pricing. I looked at that for about half a second, and I just spoke to the bloke. And I was just saying like, "Oh, hey, my name's Dan, I'm from Australia. We don't have this sort of stuff in Australia. Yeah, can you help me out?" And he's like, "Welcome, my Australian brother." Like, he was like cool off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, made me feel like it wasn't like weird or anything. Like, he was just like a sick dude. And yeah, then he showed me like all these different strains of weed. He took the jar off, got me to smell all these jars. He's like, "This one, it's pineapple fruity." And I smelled it. I'm like, "Oh yeah, fruity." "Oh, this one is mimosa." Smelled it. "Oh yeah, nice." And eventually picked one. And he's like, "Oh yeah, good choice." And him and his colleague were like, "Oh yeah, that's a good one. It does this, but also this."
Okay.
And I'm like, "Oh yeah, sounds good to me." So they have a scale and they weigh it out. I got 1 gram.
Yeah.
And 1.03 grams. And then there's a digital display, and it had like the strain, the weight, and the price. Like, it was all very modern. It wasn't like some back alley dealing.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was like €16 for a gram, which is like $23. It's like standard street pricing, but this is from like an establishment, so it's at least it's going to be good quality.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they hooked me up with that, and they came with like, on a tray, and then it came with like a lighter, a grinder, papers, so you could like roll up a joint. So I went outside, rolled up a joint. It was great.
Fuck yeah.
I'm like, geez, I'm glad I can roll. Otherwise, I'd have to ask
That's
them,
true.
I guess.
Yeah, I presume within their cabinet of wonderful curiosities, they probably had pre-rolled joints.
No.
They didn't.
No. That's why I was a bit like, because I would have bought one that was pre-rolled.
Gotcha.
But no, and I said to them when I was buying it, I'm like, "Oh, so do I roll it, or do you guys roll it, or what?" And they're like, just pretty chill, like, "Oh, no, you can have it on a tray with all the accessories you need."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm glad I could. And then when I sat outside, Em's like, "Oh, so do you know how to do that, or are you just winging it?" I'm like, "Nah, I know what I'm doing."
It's like fucking seconds later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Natural
Natural.
ability, I reckon.
Well, actually, this other shop I went into, because just this like random, it was in Amsterdam, this random, it wasn't a coffee shop, which is like, so in Amsterdam there's cafes and there's coffee shops. Cafes is like a cafe where you have like a coffee and food. Coffee shop is a shop where you have a coffee and a joint. there was this. It wasn't a coffee shop. It was actually like a weed, a weed store. I think they call them a head shop,
Okay.
where they just sell like weed and paraphernalia. And there was pre-rolled joints in there, and there was also like bongs, and there was like vapes and all other stuff. Because I went in there and I wanted to get like a pre-loaded vape, like one that had all the stuff in it, like that you just throw away when it's done, with THC. So, and I said, "Oh, hey man, I'm down. I'm from Australia. We don't have this stuff in Australia." That was my go-to line.
Yeah.
Just to set it up, just so they knew, because they got no idea when you're walking in. You could be anyone. And he's like, "Welcome, my Australian brother." Like, he was also real cool, this guy, which is awesome. And he said, "Oh no, that's only in California. You've got those."
Okay.
In Amsterdam, it's illegal to have like the concentrates, like, you know, the stuff where they.
Oh, is that the liquid that they burn?
Yeah,
What you mean?
the liquid stuff. Yeah,
Oil, I guess.
yeah, correct. So in those like vapes that you just buy in a packet, it's kind of like disposable cameras. Like, you buy it, you take your photos and throw it out. Like, but he said neither. It's illegal in Amsterdam to have concentrates. That's only in America.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, "Oh yeah, no worries, thanks, bro." And then I went and walked to this other shop I just told you about, because that was more of like a vibey place, not just like a wholesale shop or retail shop. I mean, but when I was in that head shop, the weed shop, they had like these wooden contraptions that had like 2 joints at one end and a mouthpiece at the other. So it was,
you
it was a
suck it in
Y.
at the...
It was a Y.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and there was also
Like
one that
of
was
those spanners.
yeah, like exactly. And then there was
Yeah.
another one that was like 3 heads, so 3 joints and 1 mouthpiece. So you get all 3 going and just pass it around.
Get out of it, B.
I'll show you the photo. I took a
Yeah,
photo.
that'd be good. And how long were you sitting outside just enjoying it? Did you have a coffee as well?
Had a coffee, and they gave me this. They said, "Oh," because I went in there and I ordered the weed, and they're like, "You want a coffee?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's a coffee shop. I probably should get a coffee."
Yeah.
So I got a coffee, got like a latte, and they were saying, "Oh, this other drink, it was like a pineapple lemonade, like in a can." And like, "Oh yeah, this is very nice, very refreshing." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll get one of them too. Throw it in." I felt like I was like balling a little bit. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Fuck yeah, I'll have this. Nothing can stop me now." So I was out there with a couple of nice drinks, hot and cold. I'm out with my missus, in the sunshine, and geez, yeah, it was great.
It sounds perfect.
Yeah, it was. It was like the highlight of the whole trip.
Fuck yeah.
I had the best time ever.
I can remember my time in Amsterdam,
Cheers.
mainly because I never went to an actual coffee shop.
Yeah. What did you do in Amsterdam? Tell us that story, Rob.
So I was there with a group,
How many in the group?
probably about 20. And
Did you have like lanyards on and stuff?
no. Some people went, you just saw like free for all. You go do whatever the fuck you want.
Do you want my whiskey? Or you good?
I'm good.
Alright.
And some people obviously went to the coffee shops. At that point in time, I was really interested in like the history and stuff, so I was just like walking around exploring. Usually,
Gay? Sorry.
usually by myself. Even more gay.
Well,
No, I was happy. Sigma male.
Sigma male grind set,
Yeah.
whatever they. Well, isn't well that's some merit though, because you're a big history buff.
Yeah.
You like the past.
It was, I fucking loved it. Walking around. And then anyway, by the time, it was starting to get dark, I'm like, okay, I've seen enough. I might sort of try and find other people. We didn't like have phones or anything. This was back in like 2014, 15. So like,
It wasn't as popular.
it wasn't as popular to have like, and it was overseas. So I just sort of didn't really have communications or anyone's number. So I don't know how the fuck I found people, but I ended up finding the group or some people in the middle of Amsterdam. And
Yeah.
some of them had already been to coffee shops.
Oh, so they were
So they were
high,
they were
or-
just walking around with the joints. And they're just like, "Oh yeah, here you go." So yeah, okay, cool. So I just like joined them and started like getting stuck into it.
That would have been fun.
It was really good. And then the destination was the red light district.
And what time of day was this?
It was probably coming into like 7, 8 p.m.
Okay.
Something like that. So it's getting dark, so it's the night's starting to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just sort of wandering around in the red light district. Some people, I remember one dude, he was there for the red light district.
Did he go into one of the things?
He did.
So he hooked up with a girl?
Yeah.
Fuck.
He also lost his camera that night, like a proper big.
Really?
Yeah.
How did he lose it?
Fuck if I know.
In like
Alcohol, weed, prostitutes.
he
you
probably
make up
left.
your
He
own
probably
story.
like left it down on a table and someone swiped it.
Yeah. So that was pretty fun. So just wandering around, waiting for him, waiting for him to like come back out. And you know, it was pretty quick, so he copped it. You know,
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
But yeah, it was
Do
great.
you remember the type of lady he hooked up with?
Nah,
No.
Because I didn't even know where he went, to be honest.
I think they go into like the room and they close the curtain. I think. I don't know though.
I don't know.
I saw
want to make sure the curtain's closed.
I saw a few lads like coming out and walking down the stairs. It's interesting because like you,
Saw a few lads coming.
yeah, keyword there is out. I
Yeah.
turned gay. I noticed a thing in Europe. The bees are huge. There's like,
Interesting.
yeah, they were like what do they call them?
Like bumblebee size.
Bumblebee size. Yeah, that's it. They were fucking massive. I tried to
Yeah.
get a photo of one, but I don't think I did. But I saw like, the red light district. We're walking around. There's like chicks in lingerie, sort of at the window, and they're looking for people to look at them. And as soon as you look at them, they'll wave or beckon you.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Definitely is.
And it seems very accepted. Like it's not like weird or anything. It doesn't feel dirty walking around there.
No.
There's like, because there's a canal that runs through the middle, and then either side of the canal is a couple of blocks each way of red light district. So there's pubs and clubs and sex shops, and then there's also windows and laneways. And in the windows, they're lit up with red lights, and there's chicks just modeling in lingerie. And then like I guess sometimes they open the door and they might say something, or they'll beckon you or whatever. And it's up to you whether you go in or not. But I was looking up, it was like different light colors mean different things. So red is like chicks. I think like,
Oh, interesting.
I think it's like,
It was only red when I was there.
yeah, there was like, I think there was like, maybe like green lights, which is like blokes maybe. And maybe blue lights, which are trannies, I think. No, wait, it was definitely blue. Yeah, different things. I only saw red though.
Okay.
Yeah. It's an interesting place. It feels like a city, but like, yeah, cool. It's interesting being around big populations of people in the street. Like, I'm not really a big fan of being around huge crowds and stuff. I feel a bit uncomfortable, but it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How'd you go walking around?
Yeah, it went pretty good.
Yeah.
Did a lot of Ks. Every day was 10 to 20,000 steps.
10 to... Oh, that's good.
Every day. So, like, yeah, did a fair bit of walking. Not like crazy every day, but like some days were a lot, some days were not much.
Mm-hmm.
Still recording?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Half an hour.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I was worried that I might have got like a phone call and it would have cut the recording.
I think if you put it on like, in whatever
Do
it is.
not disturb.
Do not disturb, it stays recording.
Yeah.
Nice. Where's that stand up? Getting a bit too warm in that location.
Fair enough. All right, let's say goodbye for now.
Alright.
See you later. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming. Thank you, parents. See you later.